Hello friends, how's it going? It's time for a video, and this one I'm going to respond to a thread. I don't remember the person's name, but it's about favorite female artists, and what I thought I would do is do a Dereck twist on it, which is to focus on just a few female artists that I absolutely admire and love, but I don't hear much about them. I'll start with one artist that of them maybe is the most spoken about, and that is Laurie Anderson. Um, a very dynamic, creative woman who has worked in performance art, avant-garde, violinist who has done a lot of things with tape and violin, um, such a lot of innovative things with spoken word. This is her United States live. It's like a four or five record set, and I just think that Laurie Anderson is brilliant. And I did have the opportunity to meet her many years ago and give her a Digital Sex 45, so she's got my record. What we're listening to in the background is by this woman, Ellen Fullman. And this particular recording is called The Long String Instrument. And what Ellen does is she creates sound sculptures, usually wooden based, with these long suspended strings that she plays by rubbing them the length with resined hands. And you want to talk about creating some really natural droning, almost Eastern but not Eastern, which is what is so unique about it and fascinating. And the overtones that are created as she moves along the strings, it's sublime. Kay Gardner, um, may she rest in peace, is a woman who is probably associated with the term New Age, and I feel that doesn't do her justice. Um, Her music is like Stephen Halpern, if you're familiar with him. It's based on healing theories and practices, and this is just some of the most comforting, and I use the word a lot, but it's what I'm looking for is beauty. I love beauty as well as originality, but this is such beautiful music. Kay Gardner. So this is a woman I would like to throw some light on. Let's talk about jazz. I could go for quite a while, but I'm just going to point out a couple folks, but this one in particular right away, because I bet y'all she doesn't get enough. Amin Claudine Myers. She's a pianist. She's played with everyone from the Art Ensemble of Chicago to Bill Laswell. And she is an excellent artist. This album is just really sweet. Um, it's an interesting mix of vocals with jazz. I can't do it justice right now, except to say that Amin Claudine Myers is another female artist that I love and recommend you seek her work out. I think this is a female. I'm not certain, but I think Clara Monsheen is a woman who got signed to Klaus Schultz label. I'd have to read it again to remember. I just have so much information. It gets clogged. But what I'd like to say about this album, she has a few. This rivals most anything by Klaus Schultz or Konrad Schnitzler in originality and use of synthesized sound. Um, it's really, really good, and goes from being quirky to quite expansive and spatial. Clara Monsheen. This Ellen Fullman is just transforming me, man. You know, you just, yeah. Wonder Brass. This is a collective, or it started out as a collective in, I believe, Montreal, Canada, of 9 women. And this is just some excellent music. Apparently, they were kind of political in tone at first. I don't speak French, so the main thing I can tell you about it is that they're great musicians. They kind of remind me of Etran Foulé Leblanc, and there is just a touch of maybe ethnic French music, ethnic French folk music in there. I hear perhaps, or Canadian it is, but excellent. Wonder Brass, and I understand that the name of the band is indeed a little play on the Wonder Bra. Okay, a few more from Germany. Chicks on Speed. Um, this is a band I highly recommend that you check out. Started out, I guess, again as an art project, and just moved in. I believe the ladies moved into all forms of production, including music. This has there's a punkness to it, but it's pretty wide in scope. I mean, playing music, using found sounds, almost like skits at times. Chicks on Speed. I wish I'd only paid 99 cents for it. That was, anyway. I showed one of her other albums, but Betty Carter, if you like jazz, or if you love jazz, and you want to know about jazz that goes to the bone, you absolutely must hear Betty Carter. And I believe that Betty Carter is not more well known because she was too damned intense. Just look at this picture. She's blowing. I mean, if you know anything about jazz, you know about Ella Fitzgerald's phenomenal scat singing, right? Ella can't touch Betty Carter, and I love Ella Fitzgerald. And maybe I'm overstepping. You know, I can imagine some people who know jazz who might beg to differ with me, and so I'm just going to say that's how much I feel about her artistry. She is truly probably the finest jazz scat singer I've ever heard. At least on the same level as Ella Fitzgerald, if not better. Sheila Chandra is a singer from India, I believe, that I love, and she started out in this band Monsoon. I would show a solo album, but I only have CDs, and I will eventually be showing more CDs, but I love to focus on the albums. And this is a band that she started out in called Monsoon. Bill Nelson guests on this album as well. This is a kind of a mixture of English pop and Indian influences, and her voice is heavenly. Monsoon, Third Eye is this album. The woman I'm speaking of in particular is Sheila Chandra. I'm thinking of Ofra Haza now. I didn't think to grab that, but I've got a few more here to show. Joan LaBarbera. We're talking about one of the true innovators of voice technique. I believe she's still living. She's been recognized with many awards over the years, but I mean, she does all kinds of things with her voice as well as with electronics and tape. But she has a whole vocabulary of sounds as well as having an amazing operatic ability voice. Joan LaBarbera tape songs, if you can find this on Sure Squirrel, this is just truly groundbreaking, challenging listening. I think I've seen someone else put up an Annette Peacock album. Excuse the big cave, it's written all over her face. I bought this from a radio station when they were having one of those kind of, garage sale things. But Annette Peacock is not to be missed. Her voice is one of a kind. And if you can't tell by the picture, the woman is deep. A singular talent. Highly recommended. She was on Bill Bruford's first solo album as the vocalist. Carla Bley, Escalator Over the Hill. This is signed by Don Preston of the Mothers of Invention. He's on here. And when I saw him, it kind of blew his mind that I had this record. It was really fun talking to him. Escalator Over the Hill, a chronotransduction by Carla Bley and Paul Haynes. Carla Bley was married to the jazz pianist Paul Bley for a while. He featured many of her compositions over the years. This woman is just so dynamic and so unrecognized. She is such a skilled composer that casual listening isn't going to do it. You have to take your time with Carla Bley because she's got something for your ass, all right? Let me see if I can just find this right quick, and I will show Ofra Haza because she is someone else. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Ofra Haza, I believe she's from Israel, I believe. She passed away, unfortunately, I think in the 90s of AIDS related. But her voice, if you've heard Pump Up the Volume and that Eastern, that's her. In her home country, I understand she was like an institution, like a living goddess because of the power of her voice. And I have to agree with it. It's an amazing voice. These are some women that I wanted to share that are indeed some of my favorites. To just finish up, I don't have vinyl by some of my other favorite female artists, like, for example, Stina Nordenstam. I can forget where she's from, possibly Sweden or Holland. Emiliana Torini. I don't have any vinyl. Sure would like to have some of those ladies, but hey, this is just so much fun to still be doing this and sharing these videos and watching your videos. It's just a fun time, and I'm really glad that this is happening. Everyone be well.